One bite of this decadent chocolate fudge is going to leave you wanting more. Hi, you're watching Plating It with Wendy, and today I've got my mini-me with me.
And this is the easiest chocolate fudge you'll ever make, so let's get started.
For this recipe, we're going to be using an 8x8 loose bottom pan, and we're going to line it so that it's easy to release the fudge once it's ready. I'm applying some butter to the pan because I'm going to be lining this with some wax paper. Parchment paper also works well. Now we're going to go in with one sheet and place it down horizontally. Just applying a little more butter on the base. And there you go. Putting in the second sheet. It's always good to do this first before cooking the fudge, because once the fudge is ready, it has to go in right away. If you don't have a loose bottom pan, you can just go in with a regular pan, and this overhang will come in handy to pull the chocolate fudge up from the top.
Now let's start preparing our nuts for our fudge. We're going to be adding in some hazelnuts to give it an amazing little crunch factor among all that decadent chocolate. You can also go in with any other nut, dried fruits, or mix-ins. The options are honestly endless, but we're going to go in with 1.5 cups of some whole hazelnuts. And we've really chosen hazelnuts because we want to add in some of these lovely Ferrero Rochers inside as well, so the hazelnuts will complement it really well. Now we're going to pop these hazelnuts into the oven. It's preheated at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for about 10 minutes, and the skin's going to crackle just a little bit and they're going to get perfectly roasted and toasted. Once the hazelnuts are nice and toasted, we're going to remove them from the oven and empty them onto a clean dish towel. Now grabbing the outside of the dish towel, we're just going to rub the hazelnuts against one another, and this is going to help the skin to fall off the hazelnuts super easily. If some of them still have the skin on, that's perfectly fine. We're just going to grab a few of the hazelnuts to fill a half cup, and make sure you don't get any of those skins left behind. We're going to add the remaining whole hazelnuts back to the tray so that they can cool down completely. We're going to take the half cup of whole hazelnuts and we're going to add them to a Ziploc bag. Seal that down nice and tightly. And using a mallet, we're going to crush these down just a little bit, or you can just chop them finely as well.
Now to prepare this rich, dense, creamy, and also chocolatey hazelnut fudge, we're going to go in with 320 grams of a dark chocolate, and I'm going to be using a chocolate that I love to eat. We're going to chop the chocolate down into small chunks because this is going to make it easier for the chocolate to melt. You could even use chocolate chips if you wanted. Let's add this chopped chocolate to a heat-proof bowl. To that, let's add 500 grams of sweetened condensed milk. And for that lovely hazelnut flavor, we're going to go in with 375 grams of Nutella. Now to bring out all the flavors and just for a little bite, we're going in with 1/4 teaspoon of sea salt. Let's melt this and bring all this chocolatey goodness together over a double boiler. You could even do this in the microwave. Make sure that the hot water is not touching the base of the bowl. We just need that heat from the steam to melt the chocolate low and slow. Let's continuously mix this so that the chocolate does not burn and everything comes together smoothly. When the chocolate is almost melted, we're going to add 1/2 teaspoon of unsalted butter, and this is going to give our fudge a lovely shine. To finish this off, I always like to add 1 teaspoon of a pure vanilla extract. Now let's give this all a mix so that it becomes nice and smooth and glossy. Now let's take it off the heat and add in the whole hazelnuts. Give it a mix so that the nuts get well distributed. Now let's add some of this delicious fudge to the bottom of the lined tray. Now let's place some of the Ferrero Rocher chocolates on top of this layer so that when we cut it, we get them nicely embedded in our fudge. Now let's top it with the remaining fudge. We're going to decorate it with some cut Ferrero Rocher chocolates on those nuts which we had crushed earlier. Using an offset spatula, let's gently press the nuts into the fudge. Now let's cover this with a plastic wrap and pop it into the refrigerator for at least 2 hours or overnight before we cut it into pieces and enjoy it. We're going to cut the fudge into some nice square pieces. And look at that!
Now let's give this delicious chocolate fudge a taste.
Hey guys, I'm sure you've enjoyed watching this video, and if you've not subscribed already, subscribe. And if you hit on that bell icon, you'll get notified every time we upload new videos.
Oh yeah, and smash on that like button and leave us your comments down below. Thanks for watching. See ya!